Oh my gosh, they just keep sending us these guys.
Okay, they do a lot with the high altitude, and this is a legend returning. First of the high altitude series, Peregrine is back, baby, and we're gonna review it.
Let's go. All right.
Is this even in frame anymore?
I don't know, man.
You're just moving stuff.
I'm just excited.
Okay, it looks
it's
fine.
Found North we're
It's
talking
fine,
about
it's
here,
fine.
brother. Get in here. Get in the shot here.
Looks okay.
This is your glass. This is my glass. This is what we're drinking. Let's get started. 21-year whiskey from Found North. You know, we hype them up all the time, but it is backed up hype by the juice inside of the bottle. Mm-hmm. Man, you go ahead. You're the info guy on this one. You go.
So we didn't get the first Peregrine.
No, it's
we
fine.
did not. Oh, you had it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yes. So it's back. Something about this one, since it's going to be not a re-release, they did mess with the blend a little bit just to kind of hone it in a little better. The bottle will say 2024, just as a disclaimer.
Mm-hmm. Does it count as this year's release though, or last year's release? Because they released last year's in 24 already, right?
Right.
So does that count as this year's release or 2024's release? Let us know in the comments if you know.
It's 2024 edition. That's what they say.
So they're doing 2 releases a year then?
That's interesting.
They're doing A's and B's, just like Stag and Elijah Craig, Larson.
Well, anyways, you know, they send us the samples for us to try out and to give our honest opinion about. They don't tell us what to say. They just really want to know what we think, and we appreciate that confidence in us. So far, they've been doing really good stuff, and I'm excited to jump into this one, see where we're at.
All right, so I cheated. I got a little pre-nose
Yeah.
action on there. Dude, okay, here's the thing that's interesting. Usually this isn't the case for me. You jump it on the nose right away, it's Canadian whiskey. I'm getting the like.
It reminds me of something.
Right, okay. But it's like, usually it's like the one we had, the Hoverhawk.
Yeah.
Top 3 whiskeys of the year for me.
Yeah.
It's up there with BTAC, like, personally. That is like
absolutely.
one of the best whiskeys I've had.
That's probably the whiskey of 2024 for me.
So there's that. But this definitely, it's like, it's like, yeah, I can see this being a Canadian whiskey. Like the other one we had, the Hoverhawk, is like, really, that's Canadian? But it's like, I'm getting it right here.
But it still smells good.
Even on the color a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's only 114 proof.
I was gonna say it smells
114.2.
It smells a little bit more, I think, than it is. Because I was gonna say, like, I didn't even know the proof. I know nothing. I didn't read anything. He just said, "Oh, we got it today. We're doing a video," and I'm like, "Cool, why not? Let's go." I know nothing. I didn't read anything on it except that it's 21 years old.
What does that remind me of? It reminds me of something very specific.
Soap?
What does it remind me of? Soap?
Just kidding.
But I see what you mean. I am kind of getting that ethanol, alcohol kind of on the nose. It's buried under layers of sweetness though. Like
It
it's
is.
kind
It really
of like
is. Oh no, yeah. I was just saying, like, the instant nose action there was like,
oh, Canadian.
yeah, this is a Canadian whiskey.
A little sharper
Like
of
it's
a whiskey.
It's surprising, like a good smell Canadian whiskey.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. I don't know if it's like a blood oath or something, or
Not me.
maybe it's the cognac barrel. Anyways,
There's a cognac in here? Oh, okay. That's right. You went over the years, I remember, and it's like finished in bourbon barrels and cognac barrels?
I should go over all that information.
Yeah, do that.
So the blend is a 25-year corn whiskey, a 24-year corn whiskey, a 23-year corn whiskey, a 24-year rye, and a 21-year rye. The finishing includes an ex-cognac cask and a new American oak barrel.
Genius.
Finished like a bourbon, and also with the ex-cognac.
The mad scientists of the whiskey world today.
And you get stuff like this. There's a little bit of berries coming out of it now. Little fruits with
Dude, right? Dude, you're totally right. Right now it just changed.
They just saw that
It just
reaction.
Like candle wax.
Yeah, I'm getting waxy is a really good way to put it. Interesting.
Whoa. Those berries really did come through there randomly out of nowhere.
They do recommend letting the
like
whiskey
this.
open up for about 30
They're watching
minutes.
this video, they're like, watch this.
Yeah.
Boom, there it is.
They're
There it
telling
is.
us there.
Because they did recommend we let it sit for 30 minutes before we did a video, and we did just that.
We did, and they recommend you do the same.
Yes.
Okay, I need to go in. Getting a little bit of clove in there now.
Clove, yeah. And then we get the classic caramel notes and,
Yeah,
as we
caramel.
say, yeah,
Bouncing
as
berries.
everyone says.
Whoa.
Bro, that has a really good, right off the bat, granola note.
Yeah, it was like the sweet oats almost. Granola, where it's like honey, oats,
Totally oaty.
maybe a little bit of chocolate.
That is oaty.
That drink's above its proof point. That
It
warmed
does,
me-
and
that,
smells and drinks above its, yeah, for
that
sure.
warmed me up. That drink's hotter than 114.
Man, why do,
You get that sharpness, like a Canadian whiskey, but it's not like a dagger of rubbing alcohol. It's just a sharp whiskey, like sharper notes, crisper notes. It's nothing smoothed out, except maybe that finish. That finish is nice, but it kind of spearheads you with that proof.
now, interesting. All that year in this glass, it's already kind of tapering away though. The finish for me, it goes a little quick. On this one.
It's kind of thickening my saliva.
Oh yeah,
But it is waning.
It leaves the age in the mouth, takes the taste away. I guess that's the way you could put it. It's not a typical dry your mouth out whiskey finish.
No.
It's like, you know the sediment you get in your mouth when you eat like a very fatty steak?
Yeah.
Don't smile, like here he goes again. You know, and it's like a coating of like a wax coating of like the fat in your mouth if you eat
Like real viscous. Yeah, sure.
Right, it's like that.
Yeah.
And it just, what I think of is just the whiskey sitting in the barrel for that long, and it just kind of creates that like inner layer inside, you know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost like a mucus.
And yeah,
You know,
and
but
it's
like a
that,
tasteless
that age
layer.
Because man, it's not often I drink a 20+ year whiskeys, man. Not often at all.
Crazy.
This is special for me.
Now go back on the nose.
A lot sweeter now.
Yeah, I'm getting
A lot more lighter notes now, out of nowhere.
I'm getting the maple syrup that the Canadians are known for. Wow.
Speaking
But
of,
I still get like the oats kind of thing, like almost like maple syrup, maple brown sugar oatmeal, the little packets
okay.
that you used to eat religiously.
Now it's all coming together.
It
Totally.
all led to this point.
Speaking of Canadian whiskey, Jalen and I just got a maple syrup from Canada, aged in like a bourbon barrel.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
How's
a
that?
whole. It's so dang good. We just had it the other day with our waffles.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, man, I don't know about buying any other syrup than this anymore.
Honestly, we're like right there. Let's pick it up.
It's so dang good.
Yeah,
Man.
it's almost like now that it's like real syrupy. It's like when you put like blueberry, not blueberry. It's more like raspberry or maybe strawberry pancakes with like that maple syrup on top, because you get like the bready kind of cakiness.
Bready indeed.
But with the syrup, wow.
Crummy. It's crumby. Like crumbs.
You
Like,
know-
it reminds me of like the leftover crumbs on the plate of like the pie or pie crust.
Pie crust. Or like when
Breakfast pie.
when you let your pancakes just sit in syrup for way too long and they're just soggy and mushy. That's kind of what I'm getting. If I'm being specific. Okay, thoughts. MSRP
$225, right?
$225. That's a steep buy. Would we go for it? We'll probably try. I will. I probably will. And the reason being, I'm impressed with how much it's changing on me. This isn't just like a drink it real quick, you're done. This is like sit down with this sucker for like an hour.
And we're forced to do this in like a 12-minute video.
Yeah.
But here's why I will go for it. I'll give a good solid effort for this one. 21 plus. 21 is the youngest juice in here, right?
Right.
Lately with whiskeys that I swore I didn't like almost a year ago or 6 months ago, I go back to them and they've been opening up, dude. Like they really have been. And so I'm like, okay, now imagine having this bottle and it's already this good. Imagine letting it sit for like 6 to 8 months and then trying it again. Like I can just imagine. And it's curious to me. So that alone right there, the age and just the maturity of a bottle when it collects some dust and having it again after a while, it's a whole other expression there. I mean, you probably change your palate over that time period too, but it's just, there's so much to be had there. And your palate changes day by day too. So it's like today, it's really good. Tomorrow it'll still be really good. The next day, well, still really good, but we might like it even more, you know.
Right.
Only thing for me is, yeah, the finish does end pretty quickly for me on this guy.
But tapers off a little quick, but you do kind of get that coating, which is kind of cool. It's
like
different.
It's definitely the aging coating. I like it.
But with the nose and the initial palate and the mid palate, man, it walks all around. Like it kind of takes you for a walk, and that's really cool.
Man,
Definitely not as good as Hoverhawk. That was just a different animal. Would I compare this with some of the higher end rare stuff that you can't even get for $225 secondary? Yeah, that beats it all day. I think it's a lot more complex and interesting.
it's up there. It's on par with
than
the good stuff.
I mean, 1924 alone. I mean, that's going to be half the price. I'm
not crazy. And I heard batch 2 was sucky this year. We haven't even cracked batch 2 open yet.
That's too bad. Yeah, we're gonna have to. But I mean, a lot of stuff on my top shelf, that belongs up there, you know, like right next to all of them. It's Blood 06. I think that's cognac cask.
Really?
That's what I'm getting.
There's a little bit left in there, but we have another whole bottle, so we're good. Finishing cognac barrels.
It's 6, my favorite one. That's what it is.
Good job. Me too. My favorite Blood Oath as well.
And we get more proof and age.
So, yeah, it's everything that could be, but it won't. And there's only rye in there.
Exactly. If you want this bottle, if $225 doesn't seem outlandish for your budget, we understand that's a lot of money for a bottle of whiskey. But you can go onto their website. We'll have it linked down below. Sign up for their mailing list, and you can join their lotto. It's going to be the easiest way to get it because it's hard for them to distribute. They're very fair. If you didn't win the last one, then you have better chances usually the next one. So, again,
cool guys.
A lot of money, really good company. They put a lot of love and care in their whiskey, and this kind of proves the consistency to us.
I know we don't really talk about very high-end whiskey a lot. We
try not to.
We try not to, as you know, if you look at the history of our channel. But these guys, I just respect so much of what they do. And when I was introduced to them, the story was just intriguing enough to me to be like, I kind of want this to be our regular video if we can make it happen. And so far, they've been generous enough to be sending us these little samples, these 100 milliliter samples, and that is good enough for me if that's all we get for the rest of our lives.
But be warned, if quality starts to wane, so will our reviews. I mean, we call it as we see it. They could send us, an unmarked bottle. But, they do a really good job. They're trying to put Canada on the map when it comes to whiskey, and they're the only ones, I think, doing the best job.
Absolutely.
So, that's all we got.
Yeah, this is Brothers Barrel here with Everything Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. My name is Harrison.
And I'm Chris. Thank you so much to our Patreon members.
And we're going to get the heck out of here.
See ya.